We've got about 3 minutes until we go live, guys. That's it.
Testing.
Please make sure your phones are on silent.
One minute there, everybody. And welcome to the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. We are right off the strip here at the Palms for the press conference of the biggest bare knuckle fighting card in history, BKFC 41. I'm Cyrus Fees, and I'm going to be the host for the night for BKFC 41 and the host of this press conference. Ladies and gentlemen, we're obviously talking about BKFC 41 Saturday, April 29th, live from the First Bank Center in Denver, Colorado. You're going to be able to catch that pay-per-view on the BKFC app, on FightPPV.com, YouTube pay-per-view, Rumble pay-per-view, and on all major cable and satellite systems. Now, this press conference is obviously about all the incredible athletes that are involved with BKFC 41, but we are also happy to announce 3 big partnerships on the broadcast side: Rumble PPV through the Rumble app and YouTube pay-per-view, as well as our brand new sponsor. We got Bucked Up Energy here. Fantastic. I'm having the bomb pop one. It's tremendous. Keeping me real bucked up here, folks. BKFC 41 is going to be fantastic. Speaking of the sponsors for the night, Bucked Up Energy, obviously, Lions Not Cheap Apparel, OnlyFans, BioPro, and Crescent Tools. And of course, for all news on BKFC 41, and there will be more things coming out, make sure you go to the BKFC app to be able to pick that up on all of your app stores. Now, without further ado, let's get to the meat of it. Let's get to why you are here. These incredible athletes, of course. So we're going to make some introductions here. First off, debuting at BKFC 3, this fighter announced herself to the promotion with a first-round TKO. Since then, she's amassed a record of 6-1 and 2 bare-knuckle world championships. Widely considered to be one of the best fighters, male or female, she defends her BKFC flyweight title at BKFC 41 against former bare-knuckle champ Rowdy Beck Rawlings. Please welcome the Misfit, Christine Faria. And next to her, over 50 bouts in 22 years, this next fighter has been a force in the heavyweight division. With 28 big knockouts, he's been a constant force in every show he's been featured on. In his debut at BKFC 30 in Louisiana, it only took 19 seconds to brutally knock out his opponent. Please welcome Big Ben Rockhold. On the other side, in his 15-year professional career, this next man has put together a tremendous resume of 18 wins and only 5 losses, including 3 UFC featherweight championship bouts. In his BKFC debut at Knucklemania 2, he made immediate impact and finished his opponent, Joshua Faines Alvarez, in the 4th round, Chad Money Mendez. His opponent at BKFC 41, coming into the sport, this next fighter is known to have competed underground for over 100 fights, earning him the name the Underground King. In his MMA career, he's put together a 30-8 record, including both Bellator and UFC lightweight world championships. Now he makes his debut at BKFC 41. Please welcome Eddie Alvarez. One half of our main event at BKFC 41. In his MMA career, this next fighter has amassed a 16-6 record that includes both the Strikeforce and UFC middleweight championships. Among his wins, Chris Weidman, Lyoto Machida, Michael Bisping. He'll make his bare-knuckle debut at BKFC 41. Please welcome Luke Rockhold. And his opponent, his debut at BKFC and Knucklemania 2 was incredible in February of 2021. He has gone undefeated with wins over Julian Lane and Bellator striking specialist Michael Venom Page. Following his debut, founder David Feldman called him the perfect BKFC fighter. Please welcome Platinum Mike King. Now please welcome to the podium the founder and the president of BKFC, Mr. David Feldman.
That was quite an opening. You know, as I'm sitting up here looking to my left and to my right, it's pretty amazing what we've done in this sport. We have some of the biggest pioneers and legends in combat sports that are on this stage tonight that are going to compete at BKFC 41 in Denver, Colorado. Our biggest show. It's going to be our most attended show. It's going to be our most watched show. We anticipate 20 million worldwide viewers, and it'll be our highest grossing event that we've had to date. So we're very, very happy and excited about this show. It's going to be an amazing coming out party for BKFC. You know, I think we've had a lot of events to date. We're on our 53rd or 54th event to date. We put on some really, really great shows. You know, this sport, what I found out is this sport really, truly introduces a man or a woman to themselves. They find out who they really are in this sport. And you know, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide, and that's what makes this sport so great. And to have these kind of athletes compete on our stage, in our sport circle, in our ring on April 29th in Denver, Colorado, it's just going to be an amazing night. And I just want to say thank you to all the media, thank you to all the fighters, thank you to the platforms that are going to be showing this as we're growing. We're adding more and more platforms to this each and every time. And especially thank you to our sponsors. As Cyrus mentioned, our new partnership with Bucked Up Energy. You know, I was going to say, and he took it from me, but somebody's going to get bucked up.
Didn't mean to steal your thunder there, President. Now the final piece of this BKFC 41 press conference. Special guest, glad to have him here. We've worked together a lot over the years. He is the pride of Westland, Oregon. He is the bad guy, and yes, he is still undefeated. Please welcome our guest moderator, Chael Sonnen.
Well, I got a hot mic over here. Thank you very much, Cyrus. You know, guys, generally when I come to things like this, I'm jealous. I look around, I think, you know, why did Feldman not offer me a contract? I want to be doing something like this. I do not feel like that on this stage. There's not one of these guys I want to tangle with. Joe Rogan came through Portland. 2008, I went and caught his comedy routine. He was telling the world that, you know, you see him talking about Joe himself, interviewing Brock Lesnar at that time, and that Joe tries to look cool and look like he's collected, but he knows that Brock could do anything, including murder him. Right in that interview, and there'd be nobody that could stop him. And it's the first thing I thought when I saw Ben Rockhold on the stage. I thought, wait a minute, somebody's going to get in there with that man? Without gloves on, somebody's going to toe the line? Yeah, no wonder it's TBA. No wonder the last opponent didn't work out. And I can go through this whole list, and we will before we're done here. But what an honor, guys. Thanks for being here.
All right, so we're going to go around and we're going to start taking questions for this incredible event. Obviously, we have a lot of media here, so we are going to get a microphone, pass that around, and take questions. I think first off, as we do that, maybe we kind of go around to each of these great matchups here and just get a quick intro here from all the fighters involved. And we'll go to Christine first, taking on Beck Rawlings. We know that is a highly anticipated matchup, and what you've done for the sport, what you've done as champion has been tremendous. This is going to be the only championship bout on the card. Let's talk about how you're doing with your training and how you're looking forward to this matchup.
Hey, what's up, Las Vegas? You know, I'm out here training. I'm here in elevation, half a mile up. Denver's about a mile up. I think this fight is going to be more competitive than people think. The Aussie's tough. She's stubborn. I think that's going to be her downfall. I think she's going to come forward, be aggressive, and she's going to get clipped, and things are going to change. I'm coming, misfit style. You know, I'm going all out, putting it on for the fans, making sure that everybody's entertained, and we are putting it on. So, Ozzy, I hope you're ready, because I'm a competitor. You've been at the highest, you've been UFC, Bellator, everything, but I promise you, they didn't let me in there for a reason.
Big Ben Rothwell, obviously the big heavyweight feature here on this bout. Major name right now, slated to take on Josh Watson. We may be getting some details on that as well, but Ben, getting ready for this fight, your second appearance at BKFC. Just talk about the lead up and how you're getting ready for your fight.
I first want to clear the elephant in the room. You guys saw the press conference poster. Biggest comment I seen on the whole list was me and Christine were going to fight each other. I think it's actually a backup plan. You can see them next to each other. If Beck Rawlings doesn't show up because my opponent has officially backed out, her and I are going to actually do a tag team match. We're going to take on Mr. Alvarez and Chad Mendes. I don't actually believe those two are going to fight. Just look at them. They're like brothers. I mean, I look at these two and I'm like, it's the Mario brothers. They can't fight each other. I think they got a movie coming out tomorrow too. So, congrats, guys. Yeah, then real quick, you heard it. They're looking for an opponent, so that's unfortunate. But I know the entire BKFC is on top of it. They've had a lot of offers coming in, believe it or not. I think it's going to be Chael Sonnen, honestly. We got to bring that guy out of retirement. It's a big game, but they brought him in. He's down there at the other end. I think clearly when they bring him out of retirement, he talked a lot of trash on me over the past. So I want to see what this guy can do in there with me. He made fun of my brother back when we first met, so I got to redeem my family. And let's do it, Chael.
Yeah, man, I thought you were kidding at first, but as you got that's a real challenge. I'm being challenged right now, aren't I? Can I have a little time to get back to you?
Well, I'm about to jump up and look at the security guards. I mean, they really, that's what they brought. When I jump up and start freaking out, those guys are going to stop me. So, it might happen now, buddy. Keep going.
And you know the fight's 2 weeks away, and right now I got a higher juice concentrate than Tropicana. Like, you're you don't have to, like, go through this whole thing. Like, you...
Hey, you need it. It's fine. What else? Don't even get me started about my breakfast this morning. All right, fine. I'm going to talk about it. I worked out hard. Mr. Platinum Perry ran into me, seen me. I was drenched. I'm angry. I need some food. I sit down, and the guy's like freaking out. Like he's obviously stressed out. I'm like, sir, can I just order real quick? He's like, sir, please. I will. Just a second. He's over. He's making a coffee. He's like measuring every single thing. He's got oat milk, this much, that, everything. I'm like, what are you making over there? It's not even on the menu. I'm like, sorry, 10 minute coffee. And he goes over, and he's like, this, who is it? Oh, it's Luke Rockhold's coffee. I'm like, what do you know? Him and his. And I just gotta ask one question. Did a panda bear die making that cold you have? Or... No pandas. All right. No, these guys, everybody up here is great. I love these everybody up here. So that's it from me. Somebody step up and fight me. What?
I'm sure we'll hear more from you.
All right.
Let's go to Eddie. Eddie, obviously you're getting ready to make your debut here against Chad Mendez. You've been very excited about this, been very, very positive about this move in your career. Now that it's setting in, now we're under a month, how you feeling?
I'm excellent. That's a tough act to follow. Bounce comedy show. But thank you to Dave Feldman and the people of Bare Knuckle. I've been looking for a platform the past year and a half or 2 years, like looking for a real platform and a real opponent to go out and compete on. I didn't want to just fight to fight. So I took my time, hung out with my family, and found out kind of who I was outside of fighting the last like 24 months or so. And I didn't want to get back in to a cage or a ring or anything until I was like truly like excited about what was about to go on. And Dave gave me the opportunity, gave us the right opponent to do that on, and like truly invigorated with my coaches, Mark Henry, Ray Robinson, and everyone back at home. And we're back in our bag. We're training our asses off, and like as if we're about to make a title run again. And this sport is so kind of new, and there's so many cool little nuances that I feel like a kid again. I was kind of learning and being back in it, and with the right opponent, I think I have someone really violent in front of me, and I need that. That always brings out the best fight in me, and it's always the best for the fans. So you're looking to crown another king of violence. I'm gonna defend my own title come April 29th in Colorado.
Love it. See, you got the mic up here. I was gonna go to Chad, but I'll go to you instead. Let's go to Eddie's opponent here. Chad Mendez, obviously coming in for your second fight under the BKFC banner. It's a big step up in competition here. It's a matchup that a lot of people would like to see in MMA as well. But here it is at BKFC. How do you feel welcoming Eddie Alvarez into the squared circle?
Hey man, I feel good about it. This is just like Eddie said. Honestly, this is an opponent that gets me up every day and motivates me, gets me excited to get in there and train. I'm kind of towards the end of my career here, and it's tough kind of staying motivated when it's not that top level opponent. So they talked about signing Eddie, and I wanted that contract right away. This is something, like I said, that excites me, motivates me in the gym. And I mean, this fight sells itself. I mean, Eddie's been at the top of his division his pretty much whole career. I've been there too, and it's two guys that are going to get in there and be swinging for the fences, pushing the pace. He's got that wrestling background just like I do. And I think it's going to be a war. So this is going to be a fan favorite fight, I believe. And I'm looking forward to getting there and showing what I got, what I've been working on for the last, multiple years here for April 29th. So it's almost game time.
Yeah, absolutely, it sure is. Yeah, we're ready for you now. We're good.
I'm here.
You are definitely here. Listen, a lot's been said about you making your debut and you signing with BKFC, and you have really not wasted any time. You've had a lot of words for Mike Perry. You've had a lot of words about this matchup, about this debut. Now it's almost here. It's almost time to step into the squared circle. Where are you at now?
I'm getting ready to fight. Took the gloves off. I'm ready to put the hands to face. This is a fight. They say Mike Perry's the perfect bare knuckle fighter. He was built for this. I just believe I'm different. I always have, always will. Mike, there's a reason why he's made it to the top of the game in any realm of fighting. I plan on putting him right back in his place right now.
I brought you here. I brought you to the top of the game. This is the height of your career, and I'm gonna knock you off the tip of the mountain and send you back packing. You know, you think you're bigger, you think you took this fight because you thought that you were getting to fight a smaller guy, and you think you have something on smaller guys because you train with some guys like Gilbert Burns or Vicente Luque or those guys in South Florida. And boxing is a different world. It's more my game, and you know, it's mano a mano, hand to hand, chin over chest, and that's me all day.
That's your main event, folks. And we're going to go around here and we're going to get some questions here from the media. Before we do that, as I bring it down, Shale, if you don't care, when you kind of hear the back and forth between Luke and Mike, you know, where's that put you right now? Obviously, you're real excited to be here, but where do you think that fight's going to go?
Well, I think it is very interesting. Luke, I caught your interview with Errol the other day. I enjoyed it a lot. But one thing that you did say about Mike is you said, man, I'm not sure this kid understands. But you didn't finish that thought. You stopped right there. I felt as though I knew what you meant, though. I felt as though you were going to be more cerebral, and Perry's stubborn, and Perry fights the same way. I just know that there was a guy from England named MVP that thought he was going to come over and find a dum-dum on the other side of that ring as well. And I know before that, Triller brought in a guy that was a WBO champion that thought he found an MMA guy that was going to be in over his head. And there is evidence that old Perry does understand this. Perhaps if it's a similar game plan each time. But I'm just wondering what you thought of that, Luke. I loved the interview, but you never finished the thought, and I would love to hear how that ends. What is it that Perry doesn't understand?
Like I said, I believe I'm different. I believe in my striking. I believe in my length. I believe in my distance. I believe in my footwork. I believe in everything I am. And that's why I've become champion in 2 different promotions. I'm about to champion your face.
What happened after you said that?
Well, hey.
Last time you believed in yourself.
Hey.
When's the last time Michael Bisping knocked somebody out?
Hey.
It was you.
Oh, hey, shit happened, brother. You got fucked up by
You
Daniel
throw
Rodriguez
ass
and you come out looking like a
It's been a
dog.
while since I've been fucked up, and I love to get fucked up. I like getting fucked up. I drink on the weekdays. I like to get fucked up. I'm gonna fuck you up too. Let's see how you like it. You ain't fuck your sauna up too much. You was punching it like a pussy.
What?
Your sauna. You gonna need a new sauna, punching it like a baby.
At least I have a sauna. You're trying to break some fucking public sauna. You can't. Hey, chill out.
I'm getting you paid, buddy.
I'm getting you fucked.
And
I'm gonna fuck
you're
you
gonna
up.
get paid, and I'm gonna lay you out.
Wait, you didn't lay out Julian Lane 145 pounds. How the fuck are you gonna lay him
That's
down?
okay. He
Hey.
was smart. He had 10 bare knuckle fights.
Oh yeah, you don't think I'm gonna adapt? I'm gonna adapt. Just watch. I'm here. I recognize who you are. I recognize what you're doing and what you bring to the table. Trust me. But I know what I'm capable of. There's guys like you I fought, like Costa Philippou. You ain't no better than Costa Philippou. I dropped his
In
ass,
boxing,
didn't
I am.
In boxing?
I allow boxing
In boxing?
these guys
I'll
in the
go.
UFC.
Dude, hey.
I'm a better boxer than all of y'all, and I called you out on Twitter. I made this fight happen because you was talking shit to Jake Paul, trying to get you an easy fight because you a bigger guy. I'm a smaller guy.
He's
and I
a
was
bigger guy.
calling
He's
out
the same
Jake
size
Paul.
guy.
I said you a bigger guy. No, you're a little bigger than Jake Paul, and Jake Paul's a lot bigger than most of the people he fights. And then I called you out because you thought you could outbox him, and I know you can't box. You could
So
box
you're
if
about
you
to
work
find
your
out, hey,
legs.
no one thought I could box Apollo Costa. What happened to him? I put him on fucking ice skates.
No, y'all grappled. He took you down.
Oh,
you laid
yeah.
on the ground. There's no grappling in this. You can grab me if you want, but I'm gonna punch out of the
There was
clinch.
no grappling. He broke my nose and I just reset.
Fellas, can I jump in with a quick question? Because I did show up here today thinking that there was a meaningful size difference favoring Luke, but as I'm sizing you guys up right now, it's a little closer than it was in my mind's eye. What is the agreed upon weight for this contest?
In boxing, it's light heavyweight. It's 185.
Okay, so Luke, you gotta come down to 185.
Yeah,
All right.
want to go 190.
What's your walk around weight? 202, 203?
I'm light right now. I'm on weight about 203 right now. I'm getting ready.
It's closer than it was in my mind.
All right, so we're going to take some questions. Go ahead and get started.
My question's for David. How important was it to get Luke and Eddie over to BKFC?
You know, as we're growing this company, we're putting on tremendous fights, sometimes 2 and 3 times a month. And to really catapult to the next level, it was time for us to make the move and get some of these. Look, at this table, you have, I think it's 8 UFC championship appearances. I think it's a total of 15 championship appearances at this table. So you have real, true legends in this sport, in mixed martial arts, that are coming over to bare knuckle.
And Mike's not one of them.
And to get these kind of guys to have the balls enough to take the gloves off and give it a shot. Look, this is a risk for these guys. They don't, the first time getting into this thing, they don't know what they're getting into. But at the end of the day is, like I said, they're legends. They're gonna fight their asses off, and they have no choice. Because like I said earlier, this sport truly introduces someone to themselves, because there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
You're here in Las Vegas. When can we expect you to get the sport sanctioned here in Las Vegas?
We're going to make a really strong push. We feel like that early in 2024, we'll probably do a debut here in Las Vegas. We're going to work closely with the commission over the next 6 months and see if we can't get this thing over the finish line.
Question for,
New microphone. Check. Go on that one. Just go ahead and take that one.
1, 2, 1, 2.
This way.
Question for Big Ben Rothwell. Obviously you wanted Greg Hardy, but those plans got spoiled. But there's a free agent heavyweight out there by the name of Francis Ngannou. He lives here in Las Vegas. Maybe Dave Feldman, you can chime in here, but what's your call out for the big man, Francis Ngannou, who many see as the baddest man on the planet?
Call
Yeah, would you want to fight him? Bare knuckle.
I'm born this way. I'll fight anybody. It sounds ridiculous and crazy to everybody, but I'll fight him. I'll fight Tyson Fury. This is bare knuckle. Also, this isn't anything else. I don't even know how to describe it. So that's it. I mean, I don't really have anything funny for that. That's a serious fight. That's the fight. That's a major fight, and that's all there's to it. That's just, that guy's got a lot going on right now. So I know Bare Knuckles made some call-outs to him. Let me flip it now. I got a question. Dave, last week you made a big post about you had major news. I thought you were going to announce it today, so can we know what that is?
I wish we could. I actually just got an email on that news, but I can't announce it yet. It's not official, but it's another step in the elevation of this company, and we got some big stuff coming up. And Francis Ngannou could be, someone. He's someone that we've certainly reached out to. We talked to him. We talked to his team. At this point, we just feel like he's asking for unrealistic money, and we're not willing to pay that kind of money for him. I do think he needs to make his mind up pretty soon, because I feel like his value will, as the days go on, his value is starting to drop a little bit.
Question for Uncle Chael Sonnen. What do you think is the biggest bottleneck right now to get this sport sanctioned in Las Vegas?
Oh my goodness, look, we're off to the right start, right? We're talking about sanctioning. I mean, this is a state that's been very welcoming. They just got pitched, the SLAP organization, just by example, mixed reviews on it, but I'm saying the commission was very welcoming. I think that we've got the right leadership here with Dave Feldman. I have watched Dave battle this thing out from a distance. I like the business side of Schmo, as you know, but I have watched Feldman, and I know he's had to have his struggles, he's had to have his ups and downs, but it never sacrificed on the card. There was never an athlete that came away and said bare knuckle didn't honor their end of things. And as I'm up here with these athletes now, I gotta tell you, there's a little bit of me that wants to wrap these guys in cotton. This is almost too good to be true. We're only a couple of weeks away, and cards like this, they find a way, somebody gets a cut. You remember that Ken Shamrock was gonna take on Kimbo, and we lost it the day of. I just look at this is unbelievable. The mere fact that Chad Mendes and Eddie Alvarez have kept their distance, there was no hotter free agent. It wasn't Francis Ngannou in 2021, it was Eddie Alvarez. And people forget that when Chad Mendes retired from the sport, he kept grappling and kept boxing, and he's been undefeated since retirement. So, the fact that these two are together, and I really hope that Perry elaborates. Perry's saying that he brought in the future Hall of Famer, that he brought in the former world champion. He's saying that Luke's only here because of him. Perry pulled him up to the main event. He might have some truth to that, and I'd like to get to the bottom of it, Schmo. You want to hear another rumor? You want to hear another rumor? I got here early, so maybe I'm saying things, maybe I overheard things I wasn't supposed to, but there are 17,000 seats in this venue that we're getting ready to play. The rumor is that we've already moved 80% of them for over $1 million game. Now, I might be saying things that are Feldman's business, but if that is true, that is wildly exciting. You better not wait. You better not wait to get your tickets, because they're going fast.
That's why we brought you, Chelsea.
I have something I'd like to say. I am grateful for this opportunity and to face a former world champion. This is something I've been working towards my whole life. Bare Knuckle has brought me up, and I have proved to myself and to them a couple of times, and I am getting this opportunity now, and like I said, I'm grateful. It's all fun and games. It's the entertainment business. We're trying to fight and entertain people to get them to tune in. And what I really wanted to say was, boxing killed a friend of mine. His funeral is this week, and he just died last week from boxing. And he had head trauma and scar tissue, and his brain bled, and he went in for emergency brain surgery. And he never woke up, and he left behind 3 little boys, and his name is Mike Milmerstadt, and he was a deputy sheriff and a SWAT team member, and he was a great man, and boxing killed him. And we're up here, like I said, for it's fun and games, but we do put our lives on the line, and we are risking, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news and all that stuff. I hate to put a damper on the entertainment, but I'm the one who's got to get in there and face this ex-world champion and this bitter guy. And, I am putting everything I have into this, especially for my boy, Michael Milmerstadt.
Yes, how y'all doing? Jerome is definitely in the house. And Mike Perry, shouts out to you, to both of y'all competitors. But one thing I want to say about boxing, I lived boxing my whole life, and I feel your pain when you say that. We take a lot in this sport. I mean, I've seen a lot of fighters lose their lives, and I feel your pain when you say that. Because I fought a lot of people, and certain people got not here anymore, but God's blessed me to be here. And shouts out to you, and good luck on your fight. Christine, I want to know, where is the kangaroo at?
Down under. I don't know. She's over there getting ready for me. I don't blame her. She doesn't want to come here to waste, time to train. She's over there with Skippy. Skippy's not going to save her. They're over there cultivating a plan for him to save her. If you guys don't know who Skippy is, check it out. It's an Australian TV show. Skippy saves the little boy all the time, but this time he's going to have to save Bed.
She must have found out about that kangaroo punch.
Oh, she's going to find out about that kangaroo punch. You're going to find out about that kangaroo punch, Beg.
In case y'all don't know, I'm Jerome, the head trainer with Christine, and oh my goodness, we go to war every day.
Every day.
So right now, we were looking for the kangaroo. We might have to go to every zoo, but we're gonna get that cornbread one way or the other.
We getting that cornbread.
So I'm just letting you know, it's gonna be a great fight. Y'all gonna love the fight. Might even have to bite an ear or something. So we're gonna have fun, Tim. Thank you.
All right, now we got some questions here from some media as well, and this one is for Chad Mendez. You and Eddie have kind of circled each other for years. Now you're going to fight in bare knuckle. With you having the experience of having that one fight in there, do you feel like that gives you a big advantage going into the fight?
Yeah, I definitely think a little bit. I mean, going into that last fight, I had no idea what to expect. It's something that's completely new. I'll tell you what, it definitely hurts hitting and it hurts getting hit, and there's no way to really train for that outside of just getting in there and doing it. So, I think having one under my belt and knowing exactly what to expect definitely gives me a little bit of a heads up there. But I am extremely excited about this fight. This is, something that I honestly didn't ever think I'd be able to do. Like stepping in there against a guy like Eddie, a guy that's, like I said, been at the top of his division, different weight classes, and when this got talked about, it was something I wanted to jump all over. So And I'm really looking forward to this. I've been feeling tremendous in training, feeling really, really good, right on track, and I'm just excited to get in there and do this.
Question for Luke Rockhold. Luke, so this is your first foray into this, and there's a lot of heat in this fight. If this were to go to the distance and you win, would it still feel as satisfying? And I guess a question for Mike as well. Do you guys both need that knockout for the satisfaction?
A win is a win. I think the fight's gonna sell itself and it's gonna fight itself. Mike's gonna bring it and I'm gonna be there to capitalize on every mistake he makes. Like I always do. So I plan on winning. I don't foresee a future in the distance, but a win is a win. I'm gonna put it on him. If he can take it, we'll run the distance.
I can agree with that assessment, but I am looking to knock Luke out. Every chance I get, I do seem to shock these guys in the first round. Every time that first bit of bare knuckle hits them, usually rocks them. And I think I've been able to figure some things out about, why I haven't been able to get the finish. And I've been focusing on that, and I'm looking to knock out the taller opponent and find some angles there and really touch that chin that the internet seems to think is quite suspect.
Question for Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, anytime we do an interview with you, we see your office with all the belts and all the trophies. For you at this stage in your career, what is your motivation? Is it adding another belt to that group? Is it the money? Is it the passion for fighting? What is it for you right now?
Champions, the competition. Me and Mark Henry talk about this a lot, and he's like, if I could ever have a fighter, you'd have skulls. You'd have back in the day, you'd ride on a horse and have skulls all over, like kings that I've taken out throughout my 2 decades in the sport. So I can go on for days about great men that I bested, great men that I put away, great men that never been knocked out or undefeated that I've completely dominated over time and time again. So it's always the degree of competition that gets me up, get up early, go to bed late. It's always that. And I keep hearing everyone talking, a lot of guys talking about taking the gloves off or finally gonna take the gloves off. I'm just I think at 19 years old, I finally put the gloves on. And I finally put a set of gloves on for the first time, and I was blessed that this fighting became a sport where you can make money off it. And at that time, I had way more street fights than I ever, even today, I have way more fights with gloves off than I've ever put gloves on. I've made no money for any fight that I've had gloves off on. This will be my very first bare knuckle fight, yes, that I've been paid for. I've had plenty of them, and I don't know, I could be speaking out of line, but I have way more street fights than almost every guy up here on the stage. Coming from Philadelphia and where I'm from, I've had way more than I've had MMA fights. This won't be my first time hitting someone with a bare fist. It'll be fun again, like I'm a kid again.
Notice he looked this way. And he should.
Question for Chael Sonnen. All jokes aside, Chael, with Ben's opponent potentially not going to be able to compete against him in BKFC 41, what comes to mind for you? You're a very well-connected guy in the sport. You pay attention to all around. What sort of opponents, or is there anybody that kind of comes to mind in your head? Somebody that can go toe-to-toe with Ben Rothwell inside of that squared circle.
Well, it's so interesting. Schmo brings up, Francis Ngannou, but you got to know the serious side of that. Those are the kind of guys you have to look for. Nobody's stepping in on 3 weeks' notice against Ben Rothwell. I'll tell you that right now. Tim Sylvia had a little back and forth with Big Ben yesterday, but he sure as hell didn't volunteer to come out and do this. And I don't bring Tim in to embarrass him. I'm just giving you an example. It's going to take one heck of a man to get in there and go and do this with Ben. Dave seems confident. Dave thinks we can find somebody, but you're asking Chael P to go through my Rolodex and come up with somebody that's going to step in there with Ben, toe the line, with no gloves on. Oh, by the way, in 3 weeks. Man, I got some tough friends, but they're not that tough.
Question for David Feldman. This is obviously, I'm right over here, other side, to the right. This is just, we're getting all kinds of different questions coming in here from media. Obviously with the growth right now, I think a lot of folks are still thinking about Nate Diaz and still wondering what's happening with Nate Diaz. Are those negotiations still happening? You're obviously bringing in all these big stars, but that's one that kind of always is staying in everybody's mind with BKFC. Is that still an ongoing negotiation?
I mean, it's definitely something we're talking about. They're just, they're taking their time and they want to find the right opponent and the right offer. We've given them some options, so it's definitely in our wheelhouse. Look, nothing's really outside of our wheelhouse right now. We came from a spot where everybody told us our next show was our last show, that what we're gonna do. We're not gonna last, we're not gonna be here. 2018, we did the first sanctioned and regulated bare knuckle fight in the world history. And the following year, everybody said we were gonna fold. The following year, everybody said we're gonna fold. And here we are, doing our biggest event ever. It'll be our highest grossing event that we've ever done on a platform that, I think we're gonna have hundreds of thousands of people watching this fight live and millions of people around the world. And I think that it just shows that you gotta have tenacity, you gotta have wherewithal, and you gotta just have a vision and a goal that isn't gonna let anything take you off track. And here we are. Look, we are definitely talked about as the fastest growing combat sport promotion in the world. When any one of these great free agents become available, we're talking to them. So to get back to your question, yes, Nate Diaz is certainly still a possibility.
Okay. And also a question for Christine Faria. I think it's pretty obvious you're one of the most homegrown out of everybody on this stage right now. You're the one that has the championship right in front of you as well. Do you feel like you should be higher up on this card? Obviously, we have some huge superstar appeal here with our big matchups here. That being said, is there a little bit of a chip on your shoulder here that you kind of want to steal the show or show that you are the best fighter out of this whole stage?
I'm still on the show regardless, but I feel honored to be, next to these legends with the following and everything they give into the sport in MMA. I think it's great for bare knuckle that they're here and helping expose the bare knuckle brand. I don't have a chip on my shoulder, but I know that me and Ben will steal the show. We're gonna put it down and we're gonna go toe to toe. I appreciate these guys and I appreciate the numbers they're bringing and the exposure they're bringing to the sport.
Hey Cyrus, we're gonna do Christine Faria and Chael Sonnen versus Ben Rockhold.
All right, I got one question for Mike Perry. My condolences to your buddy Michael. Sorry for your loss. But on a serious note, how dark are your thoughts when you're alone in your room, and thinking about Luke and what you're gonna do in this fight? How violent do they get?
I mean, I try not to think too much. I try to put the work in the gym and be prepared and be ready for, last night in my hotel room, it's a sketchy hotel room and it's like kind of scary. I got these eyes on the wall and I was like having these weird ass dreams about fighting him low key. I was like having dreams last night about knocking his ass out, so, That's how I feel. My dreams come true, baby.
I got one more for Chad Mendes. How does it feel sitting next to the American gangster and that great of a guy?
Oh, it feels damn good. I saw Joe come walking up and I was pumped he was sitting next to me. Love this guy. Yeah, badass too.
Question for Eddie Alvarez. Obviously, you've stayed, very cordial here with Chad Mendes. You guys both have a lot of respect for each other, but you're a guy that wants to come in and dominate. How do you really see the fight going when it finally happens? I know you said it's your first time at BKFC, but you fought more without the gloves than with the gloves. How do you really see this fight going when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I have Coach Mark Henry in my corner. I have Ray Robinson in my corner. We've already had a teammate, put Chad away. Mark's had footage of Chad for the past, God knows how many years. He's been a competitor in that division, a high-level competitor, so we've been watching him like again. I just, given his style, you know, he's wild. He'll be faster. He'll be faster than I will. He has quick feet. He don't use his jab enough. And all my sparring partners, I'm like almost 5 for 5 the last sparring sessions, putting my partners away at one round or another with something that I'll share with Chad the night of the fight. But I have a high degree of confidence that I think maybe this is like under, we have 2-minute rounds, so maybe under 6 minutes. And I'm okay with Chad's like, he hits hard. It's not beyond me that he might catch me with a shot. I might take a knee, take a rest, no problem. I'll get back up every fucking time. Every time. So like if I have to take a knee for 8 seconds, I will. And I'll be right back in his face again and again and again until I put him down. So I think this fight should be under 6 minutes, maybe. I think that's the best prediction I can come up with.
Chad, go ahead.
No, if that shit doesn't excite you guys, I don't know what will. I mean, like I straight up saying, I'm probably gonna knock him down and he's gonna take a knee and keep coming. I mean, that's Eddie Alvarez though, you know, that's what we're preparing for. So that's the shit that gets me fucking excited. So bring it, baby.
Chael, let's follow that up real quick. This is a matchup that when I saw this announced, and no disrespect to our main event, I was very excited about that as well. But when I heard Chad and Eddie were going to be fighting, candidly, I was really excited about this fight. I think it's going to be a hell of a scrap. What are your immediate thoughts, knowing both these fighters and their past?
Well, and I got a lot, I mean, listen, let's start with this. I woke up to a headline this morning talking about this fight. This is the co-main event, don't forget. But within the headline it said they will be fighting in what is the biggest purse in bare knuckle history. I just think that that's interesting. I've known these guys a long time, and I probably couldn't ask them what they're getting, but I haven't. However, I do know what Eddie used to get. I know what Dana and Coker were willing to give Eddie, and I know that he's on this stage right now. I know a year ago when Chad debuted, it was big news because Chad was making more in bare knuckle than Francis was when he was being offered to fight Derek Lewis. If you recall that was part of the storyline. I apologize, it was Cyril gone. So what I'm sharing is there's some really exciting things going on up here right now. And when I do look at Eddie and Chad specifically, I was hoping that Eddie would get into where his advantages are. It's very similar to Luke and Perry. I thought there was a meaningful size difference, but now that I'm with both these guys, there's not. That's not where it's going to be at. Does Eddie think, with his boxing background, does he just think it's better combinations? Is it a speed issue? Is it a power issue? I think that there's a reason that this is the highest paid fight, and there's a reason that we're all looking forward to it.
And I'm going to follow up with you on that just real quick, because something came to mind. Obviously, what BKFC has right now, what the product is, I often say it's the most exciting combat sport on the planet today. Where do you think the ceiling is for this company right now, seeing the way that it's growing, seeing how exciting the action is? And that's no disrespect to mixed martial arts. We love MMA. That being said, you can't take your eyes off of a BKFC matchup. Where do you think the ceiling is, and why do you think it is, probably the best combat sport in the world today right now?
Oh, this is incredible. This is incredible where we're at. And Feldman was talking about, in 2018, he couldn't get people to listen, or he finally was able to hold the first event. Man, I was one of those naysayers. I thought this was going to be hard to get off the ground. I thought it was going to be hard to get participants, let alone the best guys in the world, and bringing some of this level of production and media. I mean, we're doing a press conference right now in the fight capital of the world. We got a venue with 17,000 seats, and they're claiming 80% is already gone. I mean, I think that things are headed in the right direction. By the way, Cyrus, I've got to circle back on something. You asked me earlier if I had any ideas for Rothwell. I'm not an emoji guy, but I do get emojis. Bobby Lashley has texted me, and it was just the emoji that means I'm listening. So whatever you want to make of that, you go ahead. But Bobby Lashley's out there somewhere, and he sent a text for some kind of reason. I'm just passing the message.
Guys, I got one question. Really two questions. One for Mr. Perry and one for Mendez. Mr. Perry. So we got BKFC 41 in Denver, Colorado, April 29th pay-per-view. Why should we tune in?
Well, I'm going up against a bigger, tougher, taller, stronger, uglier motherfucker.
It's all mental.
And I work hard for this, and I'm one of the most savage people who step foot in a bare knuckle boxing ring. I love the sport of boxing. I love punching people in the face. And I love breaking their hands with my forehead too. So, just tune in for Blood and Bone.
Beautiful, love it. Mr. Mendez, what's easier? 5 rounds of 5 minutes or the BKFC?
Well, I mean,
Minute-wise.
these are 2-minute rounds. Of course, 2 minutes of boxing is way easier than 5 minutes of full mixed martial arts.
Go, 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 100%. Pedal to the metal, don't stop.
That's right, baby.
Thank you, guys.
All right, can we, before we get to face-offs, let's go to you, David Feldman, just kind of closing remarks, why people should be excited. There's obviously some great reasons right up there on that stage with you, but what people can expect, why they should get the pay-per-view, give us everything leading into these face-offs.
Sure, Cyrus, thank you. Again, this event will be available for $49.99 on various multitude of pay-per-view providers. Look, if you've never watched bare knuckle fighting before, you definitely have to tune into this. We have some legends in combat sports that are going to be fighting each other. Bare knuckle fighting is absolutely the most exciting, fast-paced combat sport on the planet. Like I said, it introduces you to yourself. We have the baddest motherfuckers on the planet that fight for BKFC, bar none, because you can't help but be a badass person to fight in this organization, because there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide, and this is real. When you get hit with a knuckle to your face, it's real, it's different. Not taking anything away from mixed martial arts. I mean, we have some of the best athletes in the world and the best fighters in the world in mixed martial arts. But there's something different in bare knuckle. I mean, look, just the excitement around this. I mean, would anybody really get excited about, or would a lot of people get excited about Ben Rothwell fighting Francis Ngannou in mixed martial arts? No, but if they fought in bare knuckle, everybody in the world would be talking about that, right? I mean, Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry in MMA, get a little excited, take the gloves off and fight in bare knuckle fighting championship, everybody in the world is excited about it. There's just something different about this. It's edgy, and it's catching everybody's attention. So tune in, April 29th, Denver, Colorado, the First Bank Center. Tickets are selling very, very fast. You can get all the pay-per-view information by going to BKFC.com. And again, if you want to see the baddest show on the planet, tune in to BKFC.com on April 29th.
It looks like we may have a closing remark here from Luke.
In MMA and in other forms of fighting, there's competitors, right? There's competitors. It's all a competition, but you can be a competitor. You can get away with working around a fight, a real fucking fight, and that's why it's annoying to watch a lot of these guys maneuver and wrestle and avoid a fucking fight. You can't avoid a fight, and this is the fucking real deal. And this is why I signed the contract. I had a lot of different offers, and to have Mike Perry and bare knuckle, there's nothing more exciting, and that's why I'm here.
Everybody at home, stay tuned. We have the face-offs right after this.
Use those muscles. It doesn't have a stomach. Just pick it up so I can get back. Oh.
Coming first.
Excuse me.
Coming. Dave. Coming first.
I'm good.
Coming.
Comaine, Mendez, and Alvarez. Together for the first time.
Hang tight, guys. Not yet, not yet. Hang tight, please. Wait for the commercial. Take it easy. Take it easy. Can I get you guys to start on your ends? We'll bring back.
30 seconds back, 30 seconds.
Yeah. All right, Ian, thank you.
Chill.
Stand by, back in 20 seconds. Stand by, back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, co-main event, Chad Mendez and Eddie Alvarez. First face-off. All right, to our main event, Mike Perry, former champion of the world, Luke Rockhold. Come on out, fellas.
Go, Luke.
Yeah, it's our first time. We don't like to come back.
This is some of the twisties. Even better. Should have hit the stomach.
All right. Before we go, final thoughts out here. You see the face-offs, we see what's about to go down April 29th. Give me your final thoughts.
Hey, I'm sizing them up. I'll tell you, the main event, when I got here this morning, I really did think it was the smaller guy versus the bigger guy. And I thought that Perry's game plan is very interesting. I mean, Luke was saying the other day on the aerial show that he's going to cut angles, he's going to move, he's going to be a more cerebral fighter. We don't generally see that with the bigger guy. Generally, it's the bigger guy that walks you down. It's the lighter guy that has to cut angles, has to be smart. So these guys are kind of reversing roles. And quite frankly, I can't think of a fight in boxing history that followed that script, where the bigger guy is claiming that he's going to be doing more movement. Look, two other guys, one WBO champion, another one on loan from Bellator. Thought they could come in and get the jump on Perry. I do not think Luke Rockhold is a fool. I think he knows what he's getting into, and I'll just tell you, from being on this stage with them both, the size is a lot less of a difference than you might think.
So there it is, folks. That is what you can be excited about. BKFC 41, April 29th, First Bank Center in Denver, Colorado. There are select seats available. Get on the app and make sure you can be there live if you can be there in person. If not, we have you covered in a major way. This is live on pay-per-view, the BKFC app, ppv.com, Fight TV, Rumble pay-per-view, YouTube pay-per-view, and you'll be able to get it on all of your cable and satellite providers. I'm Cyrus Feast. We'll see you at BKFC 41.